When I stepped through the front door that night, I honestly thought I'd walked into some kind of romantic movie set. Candlelight shimmered along the hallway. Rose petals, real ones, the expensive kind, formed a trail straight toward the dining room. Soft music floated through the air, and a warm mix of vanilla and floral perfume wrapped around me like a hug. For a few seconds I actually smiled. I'd had a brutal day at work, and this felt like the sort of thoughtful surprise I'd always wished for. Then I noticed the envelope. It sat right in the middle of the dining table, next to a glass of champagne and a neatly folded napkin. A single rose lay on top of it. On a small note written in his handwriting were the words, "For when you're done smiling." The smile died instantly. My heart started pounding, not with excitement but with a feeling I couldn't name. I reached for the envelope, my fingers trembling. Inside was a thick stack of stapled papers. For a moment I thought it was a letter. Then I saw the first page. A screenshot. A printed screenshot. Of my message, to someone who definitely was not my boyfriend. My knees almost buckled as I dropped into the nearest chair. I flipped through the pages and with every turn my stomach twisted tighter. Every flirty message. Every photo that should have never been sent. Every line where my intention was painfully clear. Organized. Printed. Highlighted. I couldn't breathe. The so-called affair, if that's even what I should call it, had ended 2 months earlier. It was reckless, stupid, and impulsive. A guy I'd met at a friend's bachelorette party. One drunken night that spiraled into 2 weeks of flirting and one more disastrous mistake. I ended it. I told myself I was being responsible. I convinced myself I had fixed everything. I kept repeating the lie, as long as Parker never finds out, it'll all be fine. But Parker had found out. I heard the door behind me close. I turned and there he was, standing in the hallway, arms folded, face carved from stone. No shouting. No crying. Just a silence that felt heavier than anger. "I figured," he said quietly, "if you were going to lie to my face every day, you might as well walk through a lie too." He nodded at the candles, the petals, the setup. "Parker. Don't," he cut in. "I've read everything. I know the timeline better than you do." I stared down at the pages again, praying that maybe I was remembering it wrong. But there it was, every word like a blow to the chest. Parker walked toward the table and lifted the champagne glass. "I was going to propose next month," he said. "The ring's been in my drawer for 3 weeks." Something inside me shattered. "I ended it," I whispered. "It meant nothing. It was just texting and sex," he finished flatly. "You slept with him twice." I couldn't speak. Couldn't defend myself. I had already destroyed everything on my own. He set the untouched glass down. "You know what hurts the most?" he said softly. "Not the cheating. Not even the lies. It's realizing you became a person I didn't know." Heat rushed to my face, shame, guilt, self-loathing, and some twisted flicker of anger at him for printing everything out like some brutal exhibit. "How long have you known?" I whispered. "Long enough," he replied. "I saw the first message 3 weeks ago. You left your iPad unlocked when you were in the shower." I remembered that day with sick clarity, singing in the shower, feeling grateful to have him, completely clueless. "I wanted to believe it was a mistake," he said, "that you were drunk or someone had hacked you. But then I kept finding more." Tears streamed down my face now, unstoppable. "I ruined everything," I cried. "But I love you. I've always loved you." He held my gaze for a long moment. "That's the problem," he said. "You think love makes betrayal okay." I stepped forward, desperate, but he moved back. "Please," I begged. "I'll go to therapy. I'll cut off everyone." "Oh." "I'm not negotiating," he said sharply. "I just wanted to see your face when you realized it's over." His words froze me from the inside out. "You didn't even let me explain," I whispered. "I let you live your lie for 2 months," he said. "You had plenty of chances to tell me." He walked to the door and opened it. "I packed a bag. I'm staying with my brother. You can figure out your plans this weekend." He gestured around the apartment. "It's yours now. Congratulations." That was Parker, calm even when his world was collapsing. I followed him, voice cracking. "I didn't want to lose you." "Then you shouldn't have gambled with me," he said. And he left. I sank onto the floor, surrounded by candlelight and petals, holding a stack of pages that felt like a mirror reflecting a stranger's face, mine. The silence that filled the room wasn't gentle. It was suffocating. The next few days blurred together. I stayed inside. I kept staring at my phone. Nothing. No calls. No texts. At one point, I even drove to his brother's house, but he refused to come out. I eventually stopped trying. A week later, a small white package arrived. No return address. Inside was the engagement ring he had bought. Beautiful, simple, perfect. With it was a note. You were worth forever. You just didn't think I was. That was the last thing I ever received from Parker. I've replayed everything 1,000 times. The messages, the choices, the lies I told myself. And the truth is simple. No thrill, no flirtation, no temporary excitement could ever be worth what I lost. Now, whenever I see candles, I don't think of romance. I think of the night Parker showed me, in the most painfully poetic way, exactly who I had become. Someone who didn't deserve the forever he was ready to give.